What's up, guys? My name's Sawyer Hartman, and you know I like cameras, but what you probably don't know is I have a very unhealthy addiction to collecting cameras. So today I'm going to walk you through what's inside my camera closet. I'm very aware I have a problem. Now, before we even get started, I want to address this is not me trying to show off what I have or anything. I've been working professionally creating content for myself and brands for like the last 8 years. This is all of the gear that I've accumulated over that time, cameras and lenses specifically and only. All the other stuff can come in another video. But a lot of this stuff I won in contests, I was given for free. On top of that, I've literally spent almost every paycheck I've ever gotten back on camera gear. I'm literally just going to show you the gear I have and tell you like one thing about why I like it or why I don't, what I use it for. That way, if there's like some lens for a certain reason you guys are looking for, you might hear me say it and you'll at least know what I use for it. Capiche? So, without further ado, let me start with the camera bodies that I have in my arsenal. First body I have is a Canon T5i. To be honest, I didn't even really know I had this. I just hold on to things like this because since it is kind of a cheaper camera, but like if I ever had to get a shot where I had to strap my camera to the front of a car and it possibly could get wrecked quite easily, I would just use something like this with a cheaper lens. That way, if something was to go wrong, I could minimize how much money I actually lose on the shoot. The next camera in my kit is a 70D by Canon, and this is one of the best vlogging cameras you can get. Flip out screen, super reliable. It's the KC Neistat. This GorillaPod microphone, you're literally ready to go. Next up is a Canon 6D. I've had this way back since before I got the 1DX. This was like my first real like full frame camera. And the photos are good. They're in comparison with a 5D, but the autofocus points kind of suck. So I do not recommend getting this. However, I heard the 6D Mark II is like sick. Next, we have the Sony a7R III, which I still haven't sent back yet. I think I'm going to be sending this back next week, but it somehow just remains on my shelf. Sony people, I do completely understand why you like this camera. Then we have a Canon mirrorless, an EOS M5. I think it's a really great vlogging camera. I bought it because I thought it could replace the 70D. It's got a flip out screen that when you look at it, it makes it look like you're actually looking in the lens of the camera. Really nice, super compact. I got it for vlogging and then I stopped vlogging. And I like the 70D a little more. Then going way back, somehow I still have this Canon Camcorder from like 10 years ago. I don't know why I have this. I think when I first started on YouTube and I was doing juicy spoofs, like making fun of beauty gurus, this is what I used because this is what they use. I kind of want to try a vlog on this. I think it would feel like an old home movie. So I never got rid of it because I think this might have a place in the future. So then we have some randoms. We've got the Canon G7X little point and shoot vlogging camera. We have the Canon G7X Mark II little point and shoot vlogging camera. And then like the two iterations that came before it, the S110 and this elf thing. The G7Xs are great cameras like when you need something just run and gun or you're going to a festival where they won't let you bring a detachable lens camera. G7X is like a great camera, but the other two, I don't even know if I have batteries for these. I don't know why I still have them. I have this Samsung 360 camera they sent me. I don't really like it, to be completely honest. They're not paying me to say anything, so what do I care? The GoPro Fusion, though, is freaking awesome. I've been using it for a while. I got this photo on it. I've been stoked on some of the footage. If you guys want to see like a full review of what you can do with this camera, please let me know down in the comments because I've already started it. Then we got this Instamax big wide Polaroid camera because who doesn't love Polaroid cameras? Then we got the fun boys. We got a GoPro Hero 5, a GoPro Hero 6, a GoPro Hero 3, and a GoPro Session. These things are invaluable when you're shooting vlog content, when you're shooting like action sports stuff, even like just being really creative with vlogging. GoPros are awesome. Carry lots of batteries, lots of mounts, and remember to use them. And then Canon gave me this T6i a couple years back. I've never really used it much, but I did review it. As a vlogging camera for under $1,000, it's super capable and I had a lot of fun with it. But other than that, it pretty much sits like an elf on the shelf. Oh, this is fun. So we have an AE1 old Canon actual film camera. In case you guys don't know, that is the incredible sound of what an actual film camera sounds like. And then we have another Polaroid camera because, again, who doesn't love Polaroid cameras? You'll have a photo shoot with someone and then you'll take a couple Polaroids after, and these are the ones you end up remembering. Okay, camera bodies are almost over, I promise. The Beast, the Red Epic MX. It's a red camera. I actually won this in a competition like 4 years ago, and then YouTube paid to get it upgraded for me. I use this for filmmaking only, for like short films, narrative films, anything with a crew and a script. This is the go-to. It just doesn't fit my workflow for anything else though. So it sits on the shelf most of the time, but now that I'm back writing, I'm hoping to get to use this more this year. And then the last and final camera body you cannot forget is the ever faithful, my favorite camera, the Canon 1DX that is shooting this video. See it? There it is. That is the Canon 1DX Mark II, the best camera that has been made so far. That's it. That's all for camera bodies. Drones will make it super easy. DJI Mavic for travel, for like vlogging and stuff. This gets the job done, fits in every backpack, good to go. That's pretty much it. This is like an awesome little device. Now, if you have a little bit of extra cash or a little bit of extra time and people with you, this guy, the Phantom 4 Pro Plus, is my new go-to drone. DJI just sent me this and I am so fortunate. Thank you. I started flying DJI drones like 6 years ago. I had a DJI Phantom 2, which I still have downstairs with a GoPro. And then I have the Phantom 4, which I use for all of my vlogs. And then recently I was sent this to take to Australia. It's also got the remote control with the screen built in, so my phone doesn't die anymore. Kind of a lifesaver. But in terms of quality and content, this is incredible. All right, now to the good part. Camera bodies are done. We're moving into lenses, which is my favorite part of a camera because I feel that the individuality and the style of the photo comes directly from the lens, not so much the camera body. So we'll start off with the lenses everyone's always asking about. This kind of lens is called a Cinema Prime. It's made by Canon. It's right above their L series line of professional lenses. These are movie quality lenses. They're all manual and it's meant to put like a gear in it so that someone else can turn the focus for you and everything. These are incredible lenses. But the only reason that I own 6 of these lenses is because renting them for short films as frequently as I do, well, it gets super expensive, and in the long run, I'm better off already owning them. So the 6 Cinema Primes are obviously all different focal lengths. There's a 14mm T1.3, which is super wide angle. There's the 24mm T1.5, which gets perfect for like filmmaking, establishing shots and wider shots of people. Honestly, there's really nothing bad I can say about any of these Cinema Primes, so let me just run through the last 4. The 35mm Cine T1.5, which I actually crashed a motorcycle and slid on this lens, held up perfect, beautiful. Mwah. 50mm T1.3, which basically comes out to like f1.1 on a 1DX. It's incredible. The 85 T1.3 cinema lens, which is just like a low light bokeh beast. And then the Cinema 135 T2.2. This lens is so gnarly that when you try to get something in focus at 2.2, like it's literally the width of a paperclip what's in focus. But again, all 6 of these lenses are like next level and I bought them as a kit. I would not have bought them individually, and if I hadn't been renting them as much as I would have, this is a little bit overkill for anything you'll probably find yourself doing. So this is the Canon L series 85mm 1.2. It's incredible low light, great for portraits of people. This is Canon 70-200 2.8 image stabilized 70-200. Perfect wildlife lens as well as taking headshots of people. And this is the non-image stabilized version, which I got in Japan for like $400. Not recommended. Image stabilization is like super needed if you're ever trying to use this for video. And to pair with that, Ben Brown showed me this Canon 2x converter, which makes this 140 to a 400mm lens. Perfect for if you're Ben, living in South Africa, taking 6 shots of cheetahs all day. Now, easily one of my favorite lenses I own, the 100mm Canon L series 2.8 macro. Literally, besides the Cinema Primes, this is the sharpest lens I have. It is the best contrast and the best color, and it's image stabilized. If you're looking for a great lens that does macro, also takes headshots of people, and is just overall like different, buy this lens and you will never regret it. and then there's the 24-70 image stabilized f4 from Canon lens, which the 24-70 2.8 is actually on the camera that's shooting this right now. I wouldn't recommend this. If you're ever gonna buy a 24-70, I'd recommend the 2.8. Next up, for extreme wide angles, I have a 12-24mm Sigma f4 lens. Also, if you're like me and tend to find yourself with your feet hanging out of a helicopter, this will help you get that little bit of extra room so you can frame in the helicopter as well. The lens I was actually using for that purpose before I got that was this Canon 16-35 2.8. And it's a great lens. This is what most people are using for like lifestyle and travel and landscape photos, but it's currently sitting out on the shelf because of that 12-24. All of the lenses that I have here work very well and they serve a purpose. It's not about the money, it's about the images that they produce and the way that they speak to an audience. So with that being said, I have the Casey Neistat lens, the 10-22, which is meant for like a 70D or like vlogging type camera. Literally, just get this if you're vlogging, but it does not work on full frame cameras. just so you know. Now, one of Canon's least expensive lenses and best values is this 50mm f1.4. I think it's like $300 and it's literally an incredible lens. The difference between this $300 lens and this $5,000 lens is almost minimal. There's just things like build quality and other things that go into it. An example, it's been 2 years and now the focus ring doesn't work. But if you're looking for a really good quality, low price 50mm lens, look at this, buy this. Canon also has the f1.8, which is only $100, called the Nifty 50. Go into your camera shop and ask them about it. The last of the really nice lenses is this Sigma 35 f1.4. Now this is the Instagram lens. If you've ever seen a picture of a beautiful model on the beach and there's enough room that you can see the mountains in the background and there's a waterfall and it's so beautiful, it's probably taken on this lens. I really wanted to hate this lens for a super long time, but the truth of the matter is it's one of the strongest lenses I've ever owned. I think it's like $800, $900 and you can make thousands of dollars taking photos for people with this. Sigma 35 1.4. Well guys, that is it. If you're willing to spend all of your time and effort and energy to creating and getting better at one craft, over time, you will acquire the tools that you need to be able to do that at every level. What matters is you getting out there and you creating. If you're a beginner or amateur who's looking to figure out what gear I use so that you can get gear yourself, I hope this video helped you a little. I also made another video I'll link right down below. It's just the 10 beginner mistakes everyone kind of makes. But anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up or share it with a friend who just loves camera gear and might be able to nerd out on this. And also feel free to subscribe. I make new videos every single week about film and photography, and I'd love to have you on board. All right, time to put this shit away. God help me, I have a problem. I'm so sorry. I love you guys. Peace.